Hey everybody. So the Montreal Canadiens host the New York Rangers tonight in what could be a very important game for this season. It's not a big game. New York Rangers aren't doing that great, but it's a very important game, which I'm going to explain a little later on. I'm going to give you my thoughts on the game, some details about the game, I guess, some stats for the two teams, and my prediction. Well, my keys to victory and my prediction for the game, and that's all right here at Talking Habs, where everything is dedicated to the Habs and all things hockey. So if you like what you see, head down there and subscribe and ring the notifications bell, and that's going to get you your daily fix of blue, blanc, rouge. And while you're at it, if you like the video, give a thumbs up, and you can leave any comments that you may have in the comment section down below. So we have some lineup changes to go over. So they've changed the lineup again. I guess Julian's not happy with the results of the last three games, and he's juggling around to see if he can find the right combination, I guess. So we're going to go over that right now. So first line, of course, is going to be Tatar, Deneau, and Gallagher. It's the Habs' best line. It is one of the best lines in the league, and I'm glad that Tatar's out of the doghouse and back on that first line because they're really, I don't think we have they're like the fifth best in the league, I think. I'm not sure exactly for Corsi anyway, and they're definitely a dominating line when they're all together, and just our best line. Second line is going to be centered by Domi, so Domi is back at center. Julian is quoted as saying this: he's better at center than the wing. We find he's not as fast when he plays the wing. I disagree with that because I thought he looked a lot better, especially that first game he played after the Drouin injury. That I thought he had more jump and everything. So, what do I know? I'm not the coach. Okay, so he's got Lehkonen and Suzuki on his wings. So Suzuki is back to the right wing, which I'm disappointed in. But I have a feeling it might just be he's being punished for being lazy on that Sens goal in the overtime. Him and Tatar. Tatar actually managed to pretty much get back. I don't think they have a choice. Can't punish Tatar again. Who are you going to put in that first line left wing spot? But I have a feeling that Suzuki is being punished, and so it's not going to surprise me if Suzuki has a good game if we find him back there. I have this feeling. Third line is Kokanyemi centering Charles Hudon and Yoel Armia. Hudon, from what I understand, Hudon's on pretty much his last chance here. He's got to do something. Fourth line, Thompson between Cousins and Wheel. So Wheel's back on the fourth line. I think he was playing on Kokanyemi's wing last game. So defense, there's a change there and a little lineup shift. Sherratt and Weber back together. They started the last game like that. If I do remember, but by sometime during the game they were switched back to Mete and Weber and Petrie and Sherratt together. So what we have here is we got Sherratt and Weber. We got Mete and Petrie, and we got Riley back in for Kulak, and with Fleury. So the good thing is Fleury's not being shifted around. I'm just a little surprised that Riley's back in for Kulak. I thought Kulak played well, but I guess once again, I'm not the coach. I'm not a professional scout. Maybe I missed something. So Riley in for Kulak. He's paired up with Fleury again. So how does this affect Suzuki being switched over, being punished? That's what I say. I don't know if that's true or not. I actually don't think there's that much effect for Suzuki. He seems to play well no matter where he's playing right now. He was on fourth line wing. He did well there. He was playing second line wing a bit. Did well there, and I think he'll be fine. Hopefully, it's just a punishment, and he'll be playing. He'll be playing well because he seems to be picking up his game and coming into his own. Starting to, I think he's got 2 goals and maybe 3 points in 4 games, something like that. I didn't go for that stat, but he's got 6 goals, 4 assists for 10 points. He is up in the running for the Calder. Not that I think he's going to win it, not with Makar and Quinn Hughes ahead of him, but he can challenge for third spot. So I don't really think this shift over is going to affect him that much. And quite frankly, it was pretty glaring laziness. I don't know what these two guys, Tatar and Suzuki, were thinking back there. But you saw it happen. And you could see, well, this is bad. And it was bad. So Yeah, I'm looking to see how he does there, and quite frankly, I have a feeling if they're not doing as well as they thought they might do, that you might see it shift back where Domi goes back to the wing and Suzuki back at center because I really thought Suzuki did well there. Now KK has got Hudon and Armia on his wings, so my question is only is are those good enough wingers? Because if you ask me, and I think you ask a lot of people, KK had a really good game on Wednesday as far as instead of that a game where we're wondering what's going on with KK, you can see his game start to develop again, making really solid passes, skating well, just looking really good offensively, and his defense, as always, is there, which is why Julian has no trouble inserting him into the lineup as center because he's responsible defensively. So I just wonder if he's got good enough wingers. Now I think for Charles Hudon, who is basically on his last chance here, he needs to do something, score a goal. He's looking better, in my opinion. He's looking like he's making better decisions out there. Skating better. I'm just making better decisions when he's got the puck. I didn't really watch him to see how he's doing away from the puck, honestly, but I really thought when he is on offense, he's looking like he's making better decisions, which is a good thing, and it shows the good work that Joel Bouchard did with him when he was down in Laval. I think now he might even be looking good enough that if he doesn't stick here, you can trade him, move the asset. Get something, even if it's a third or fourth rounder. I think at this point, Hudon's looking good enough that he can be packaged, or someone might even be interested in him just for a straight up Hudon for a draft pick. It's my opinion. Because if he's not going to make it here, you're going to put him back in Laval, but I mean, is he going to stay in Laval? You're going to not try to move that and get a draft pick for him? If he can't play here, I'm sure he can play somewhere else. I have a concern for the backup goalie. Kincaid's not been cutting it right now. So we're stuck in the same situation where we're actually almost last season and this season, at this point, we're in the same spot as we were last season. We need something to change. One of the things we need to change, and that's the reason we got Kincaid, was we wanted a better backup goalie. He hasn't been better. Is he going to get better by not playing? He didn't play the second game of the back-to-back, and they lost anyway. So my question is that how can we get this done where Kincaid can play some games and get his game back into shape without it hurting the team? I didn't really go over the schedule, but I think I might do that for a video and go over the schedule and see where we can get some games in for Kincaid, in my opinion. So now the Rangers are here in town tonight. They are on the second game of back-to-back game. They played against the Senators, as a matter of fact, last night, and lost 4-1. Senators are looking much better. They're beating teams, which is so we lost to them. But it's not that we lost to the last place team, which they kind of are, but they're on the upswing. They've been having their last 10 games. They were pretty good in their last 10 games, and I believe they're like sixth best team in November as far as wins and losses. Okay, so they're on back-to-back games, plus they're on 3 games in 4 nights because they also played Wednesday. So they played Wednesday, Friday, and they're playing tonight. Montreal hasn't played since Wednesday, so they should be rested. So looking at that, figure this is good for Montreal, should give them an edge. But now the Habs are on a 3-game losing streak. At this point last year, they lost 5 games in a row. We're on 3. We've lost 3 of those 5 games. If they can win these next 2 games, are those 4 points that will get us into the playoffs? So far, this year's kind of repeated like last year, right up until this point. If we win these next 2 games, and then the rest of the season is very similar to last year, are those 4 points that make a difference? This is what I meant by this is a big game. This is actually a big game, because if they can turn that tide and win today's game and the next game, don't ask me who it is, I didn't look it up, that could be that difference, that 2 points, or 4 points, that minimum difference that we need to make it to the playoffs. So it is a big game. Montreal is going to have pressure on them, not only to break the losing streak, but right here to turn the tide, because they are a better team. They're a better team than last year. Everybody's better. I think even the young guys doing well. I think this is a better team, and especially the potential of this team is a lot better than it was last year. Okay, so my worry is this. This Rangers game is almost a perfect setup for another disappointing loss against a team they should beat. Like Ottawa, like Columbus, and honestly, I don't remember who the loss was off the top of my head. I'm very sorry. I don't remember it. But at least against Columbus and Ottawa, should have won. And it was very disappointing losses. So, is this a setup for another disappointing loss, or do they turn the tide on their season right here and make the playoffs because of this game and the next one? Now, for me, problem is where we say they should win this game is the team they're better than. But are they? Is Montreal really that much better than the Rangers? Okay, I'm going to give you some stats that kind of show that they're not really. Sorry if I'm going a little long. Montreal's 11-6-5 and third in the Atlantic. New York is 9-9-2 and seventh in the Metro. There's a difference. Last 10, Montreal is 5-2-3. Rangers are 5-4-1. Not much difference. At home, Montreal is 6-3-2, and against the East, 5-3-5. On the road, New York is 3-5-0, and against the East, 7-7-1. So Montreal is an edge there. Goals for Montreal, 75 goals for, 69 goals against in 22 games. Rangers, 65 goals for, 71 goals against in 20 games. Not that far apart. Montreal scoring a little bit more, and goals against a little bit less because of the 2 games difference, but very similar. Top 2 scorers on each team. Tatar 7-13 for 20 points. Weber 6-11 for 17 points. Panarin 11-14 for 25 points, and Strome 6-13 for 19 points. So their top 2 scorers are a little better than ours, but just a little bit. A disappointing player, someone who we thought would do a little bit better, is Lehkonen with 3 goals, 5 assists for 8 points. On the other side, you got Jacob Trouba, who has only 1 goal, 6 assists for 7. I kind of thought he'd have a little bit better production. And our 2 rookies, we have 1 big rookie, they have 1. Suzuki is 6 goals, 4 assists, 10 points in 22 games and a +1. Capo Caco is 6 goals, 4 assists, 10 points in 17 games and a -10. A little bit better. So what are my keys to victory for this team, for this game? Montreal literally just has to get back to the basics and play their game. Their game is skating, speed, skill, and a quick transition game. Unfortunately, this year it's not great defense, not great yet, but they're adequate. Hopefully they'll have one of those good games. And goaltending, Carey Price, who will be in nets tonight. Yeah, okay, I just got out. I'm filming it the night before. So Price will be in nets, which is a good thing. I didn't write down his stats, but they got to keep it simple. Skate, shoot, skill. I don't see anything else. So Montreal goals for per game, 3.32. New York, 3.25. Forgot to give these. So that's 9th for Montreal and 10th for New York Rangers in the league. Very close. Goals against, 309 for Montreal, 3.50 for the Rangers. 19th for Montreal, 29th for Rangers. There's an edge for Montreal. Power play, 20.9% for Montreal, 12th. Power play for Rangers, 21.4%. They're in 11th, so they're the same. PK, 72.5% for Montreal, 71.8% for Rangers. So Montreal 28th, Rangers 29th, and there you go. They're very similar teams, with Montreal having that slight edge. In a couple of categories, Montreal has a bit of an edge here. So my prediction for the game, what I think the score will be, I was really tempted to say New York Rangers, because every time I pick the other team, Montreal wins. I'd like that to happen here, but I'm not going to pick like that. I'm calling it Montreal 4-3. 4-3 for Montreal. They score a little bit more than New York, but New York scores. They give up a little bit more goals than Montreal, so there you go, 4-3. The way Montreal's been playing, it's going to be a tight game. Probably going to go to overtime. Maybe a shootout. Wouldn't surprise me. Montreal ahead 4-3. That's how I think it's going to turn out. So if you like the video, please give it a thumbs up. I apologize it's gone that long. While you're going to give the thumbs up, subscribe, ring the notifications bell. That'll get you your daily fix of Bleu Blanc Rouge from Talking Habs. And I want to thank you for watching. And I think that's it. So I'm going to be on for the game at 6:30, right through the first period. Hope you'll check that out. That's a live stream tonight. And hopefully I'll see you there. So go Habs, go! We're going to crush the Rangers' asses. That's not what we're just going to kick some Ranger ass. I don't know where I got that from. So have a good one. See you after the game, or see you before the game, and see you during the game, and have a good one. I'm rambling out. It's late at night. Have a good one, everybody. Bye-bye.